All right, let's get this out of the way first. You've seen the title of the video, and yes, we know that Orlando is landlocked. I'm aware, you're aware, anybody with a map is aware that it's smack dab in the middle of the state and it's like 50 miles from the nearest sandy beach. But this video is for people who are in Orlando or they're maybe visiting Orlando and they want to drive to the beach for the day, make a day trip out of it. And yeah, that is going to take you at least an hour to get over there, sometimes more depending on what beach you do and traffic. But honestly, I live near Tampa, which is practically right on the Gulf Coast, and it can still take me like 45 minutes to get to the beach. Florida's just weird like that. And no, despite the name, Blizzard Beach in Orlando doesn't count. And have you ever noticed that Orlando water parks all like to follow the same naming formula? Natural disaster plus water feature? Blizzard Beach, Typhoon Lagoon, Volcano Bay? If I ever opened a water park around here, I think I'd go with Sinkhole Springs. Gotta stay on theme. But anyway, let's hop in the car, head east on I-4, and go looking for some actual beaches. All right, we're gonna start in what I think is the best all-around beach near Orlando, and that's Cocoa Beach. Because Cocoa Beach is kind of the default setting for Orlando beach trips, if that makes sense. It's gonna be the closest major beach to the city, but most importantly, it checks just about every box you might be looking for. Big wide beach, there's plenty of parking. Usually there's a fairly big parking lot near the pier, but it does cost money to park there, and the price to park and parking tickets are a pretty common complaint I see about this place. So just have a heads up for that. Great surfing, great water, great waves for beginners just looking to learn how to surf, or for boogie boarding if you're like me and you're more into that kind of thing. Lots of amenities around here, lots of shops and restaurants are in the area within walking distance. And Cocoa Beach kind of feels stuck in time to me, but I mean that in a great nostalgic way. It's got that classic old Florida surf town charm that really hasn't changed much in decades. If you want that comfortable, slightly scruffy, but still lovable old Florida beach town feel, Cocoa Beach delivers that. And there's the Cocoa Beach Pier right here, which I just recently named as one of the worst tourist attractions in the whole state. So congrats Cocoa Beach, you won that. I mean, it's not the worst place in the world, but you can't fish from it. You can't fish from a pier. That doesn't make any sense to me. And now it's basically just one big timeshare sales funnel now that Westgate Resorts bought the whole pier. And that's true. Westgate, one of the most ruthless and aggressive timeshare companies in the world, bought this thing just so they can try to reel in more victims. I mean, loyal customers at this booth right here at the entrance. That is the only fishing that's happening at this pier. But on the plus side, this is one of the best spots on the entire coast to watch rockets take off from the beach. Launches from Cape Canaveral still attract big crowds out here, and it's a lot of fun. Nearby, you can pop into the legendary Ron John Surf Shop, which is open 24 hours. It's the only place in Florida where you can buy a surfboard at 3 a.m. if you ever wake up from a life-altering dream and decide you really need to own a longboard, like right now. And nearby, historic Cocoa Village is very cool, and it's a little walkable neighborhood with shops, pubs, restaurants, record stores, that kind of thing. I recently visited there for the first time, and it was a surprisingly cool little place. Really liked my day there. But if you're in Orlando and someone says, let's go to a Florida beach, and you don't feel like thinking too hard, Cocoa Beach is probably going to be the move. All right, next, my best beach for surfing and small beach town vibes, New Smyrna Beach. Now, New Smyrna is where the locals go when they want a beach town that actually feels like a beach town. It's just a bit less touristy than Cocoa Beach too, if that matters to you. And New Smyrna has this artsy, laid-back surf town vibe, like the kind of place where half the people you meet are either painters, surfers, or both, or folks on permanent vacation. It feels creative, relaxed, and just a little bit quirky in all the right ways. And about that shark thing, you may be wondering, yes, New Smyrna Beach really is known as the shark bite capital of the world. Not by the local Tourist and Visitors Bureau. They're probably not in a hurry to slap up billboards promoting that little fact.
Sick vandalism. That is a deliberate mutilation of a public service message.
But here's some actual perspective. The area has recorded about 300 shark bite incidents since the 1880s, so that's across more than 140 years and millions of people visiting the beach. In a typical year, Volusia County sees about 5 to 10 shark bites total, and most of those are very minor, which I know that's not exactly comforting. Even a minor shark bite is probably a big thing. but most of those involve surfers out past the breakers where bait fish are running and visibility is low. So the surfers are hanging out exactly where the sharks are feeding. It's basically the ocean's version of standing in the McDonald's drive-through lane and being surprised that cars keep brushing past you. You know what you're getting into out there. But for regular swimmers like you and me, closer to the shore, the actual risk is almost non-existent. So yeah, New Smyrna has the reputation, but for the average beachgoer, the stats are on your side. For the best wide, walkable beach without the chaos, head to Daytona Beach Shores. Now, Daytona Beach may be the more famous one, or some might say more infamous one, but Daytona Beach Shores is probably the place you actually want. This beach town is just south of Daytona Beach proper. It's quieter, it's cleaner, it's further away from that stuff that makes Daytona, well, Daytona, which is probably a plus, but could be a minus depending on what you're into, no judgment. Daytona Beach Shores has this peaceful, wide open vibe, like someone took all the chaotic Daytona energy, filtered it, and kept only the chilled version, the best parts. It's calmer, cleaner, and a little bit less rough around the edges. Nearby, you can check out the Ponce Inlet Lighthouse. It's close by and worth climbing for great views. And you can check out the nearby Marine Science Center for rescued sea turtles and seabirds. For the best untouched natural beach, Canaveral National Seashore. This is the northern portion of the seashore near New Smyrna, and it's probably the most peaceful beach in the entire region, maybe even in the entire state. This 24-mile stretch is the longest undeveloped coastline on Florida's Atlantic side, so that means no condos, no gift shops selling fudge and airbrush t-shirts, just miles and miles of nature and sand. This beach feels like Florida before humans even showed up, where the loudest thing you'll hear is the wind and the seagulls. Unless there's a rocket launch from Kennedy Space Center, that will break the peace and quiet in a hurry. Fun fact, Canaveral National Seashore is a critical nesting area for sea turtles and is home to over 300 bird species and around 1,000 plant species, making it a legitimate wildlife hotspot, not just a pretty beach. And while you're out here, you can visit the unfortunately named Mosquito Lagoon, which is one of the best bioluminescent kayaking spots in the whole country during the right season, or you can hit the Wildlife Drive over at Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge if you want to see gators, birds, and maybe manatees in the right season. Really great spot. Next, we have Playalinda Beach, the best secluded beach in the area and the best for rocket launch views. Now, technically, Playalinda is part of Canaveral National Seashore, but it's got its own different unique vibe. The access road out here feels like a scenic ride through untouched dunes, and once you get out here, the beach is peaceful, remote, and really beautiful. And Playalinda is one of the best rocket launch viewing spots on Earth. To get any closer to those launch pads, you actually have to be inside Kennedy Space Center. This is a great spot for watching rockets. Downtown Titusville nearby has a surprisingly solid little food scene. Places like Playalinda Brewing Company and the hardware store give you a cool local spot with good beer and good food. The American Space Museum and Space Walk of Fame is a small but charming museum nearby celebrating the workers behind the space program. Engineers, technicians, and range safety folks, the unsung heroes behind all those launches. It's great to honor them. And check the launch schedule online and time your visit for a SpaceX or NASA launch if you can. There's nothing like being up close for one of those launches. And of course, Kennedy Space Center is nearby, a place I really do love and highly recommend, but that is kind of a whole day thing, so if you're only out here for a day trip to the beach, I don't think I'd recommend trying to squeeze in this place too. That really deserves a full day. And just a heads up, there's a clothing optional area just past parking lot 13. If you wander too far down the beach and you suddenly see more moon than Apollo 11, now you know why. Jetty Park Beach, best for cruise ships, fishing, and families. So this is really close to Port Canaveral, the cruise ship port, but this is a great beach for family beach days. Big pier, a playground, calm water in a protected area, and cruise ships just drifting by, which are lots of fun to watch. Jetty Park has a really warm, family-friendly vibe, like the beach version of a community park, but with giant cruise ships casually drifting by like it's no big deal. This park has a campground, picnic pavilions, showers, and a snack bar, so that's good to know if you're the kind of person who likes some actual modern infrastructure with your sand. Fishing off the jetty is really popular, and it's also a great place to just walk out and watch the waves crash against the rocks. On calmer days, the water here can feel more like a saltwater pool than the open ocean, which is nice if you've got kids or people who don't love big surf. Fun fact, Port Canaveral right here is now one of the busiest cruise ports in the world. Port of Miami and it kind of compete and they go back and forth on who has more passengers each year, but if you time it just right, you can watch multiple mega ships glide by in an afternoon. And Jetty Park Beach is another great spot for watching rocket launches, and it's a lot easier to reach than places like Playalinda, which can be a little bit remote and a little bit of a challenge, but this is a very busy and popular spot for rocket launches, and there's limited parking, so if you want to do it, you gotta get here early. Next, we're heading to Cherie Down Park, what I think is the best quiet locals beach in the area. Cherie Down is the opposite of the big busy Cocoa Beach Pier area. This is the local spot that very few tourists even know about. It's quiet, relaxing, dune views, and one of the most underrated parks on the Space Coast. It is tucked into a residential neighborhood, so it has this very locals backyard beach feel to it. There is a decent-sized free parking lot, bathrooms, a nice dune crossover, and some shaded picnic areas nearby, and on weekends it can feel almost shockingly chill for being this close to Port Canaveral. Weekends and holidays, the lot can fill up, so don't roll in at 2 p.m. on July 4th and expect a front row spot, but usually you can find parking around here. This beach is great for laid-back swimming, boogie boarding on smaller surf days, surfing when the surf is up, or just sitting and listening to the waves without a bunch of bar noise behind you. Cherie Down has a very local neighborhood beach vibe, the kind of place where people bring wagons, umbrellas, and snacks because they know exactly how good the day is going to be. It's low-key and genuinely relaxing. And for the best laid-back beach day, you might want to check out Paradise Beach in Melbourne. Paradise Beach is exactly what the name implies, an easy, pleasant, stress-free beach day. It's clean, it's pretty, and there's even lots of parking. Now, personally, I think this might even be my favorite beach in this part of the state. It's not in the shadow of high-rises, it really has this very comfortable vibe. It's not far from civilization. I mean, Jimmy Buffett Memorial Highway is right there, but once you head down from the parking lot, it just feels like it's miles removed from everything, and this place really is a true hidden gem. Paradise Beach has this effortlessly comfortable, easygoing feel. It's not flashy, it's not trying too hard, it's just a really pleasant, really dependable beach day where everything feels simple and stress-free. And there's bathrooms, showers, a food truck that's open on weekends, and a large lifeguard station. Great family beach. And for the best upscale relaxing escape, check out Vero Beach. Now we're getting to one of those beaches where the drive times are getting up there. This is almost 2 hours from Orlando, but Vero Beach is the treat yourself beach. It's a bit further, but you can get boutique hotels, a charming walkable village, and beaches that feel way calmer than the ones closer to Orlando. The main beachfront strip along Ocean Drive feels a very small luxury resort town. You've got sidewalk cafes, local boutiques, and just enough bustle to feel lively but without being too chaotic. The actual beaches like JC Park, Humiston Beach, and South Beach Park tend to have clean sand, clear water on many days, and a quieter, more local crowd, and just upscale enough that you instantly feel like you should have worn your nice flip-flops today. And fun fact, Vero Beach is home to Disney's Vero Beach Resort. It's one of the rare Disney properties not in a theme park. Vero is part of Florida's Treasure Coast, named for the Spanish galleons that wrecked offshore in the 1700s, and people still do occasionally find old coins and relics on the beach after storms. Okay, and for the last one, we're going to take a complete left turn here and head all the way to the other coast to what I think is the best Gulf Coast beach that's still within a day trip distance, Clearwater Beach. Now this is for those who aren't too bothered by the idea of taking just a little bit of a longer drive. And this is going to be our only Gulf Coast entry here, but I think it's worth including because the experience is totally different from the beaches on the Atlantic side. The Gulf Coast beaches are famous for that powdery soft white sand that you just don't get on the Atlantic side. This stuff is like walking in powdered sugar. The ocean is also a lot more calm on this side of the state too. That's a plus and a minus. It's great for swimming and just chilling out in without the waves, but it's not great for surfing. There really isn't any surfing over here at all. But the sunsets over here put on a hell of a show. But there's a few things to note. Clearwater Beach is also very touristy, like definitely the most touristy beach in this list, maybe the whole state. But hey, maybe that's exactly what you're looking for. I do get it. If you want street performers, sidewalk vendors, lots of restaurants and bars, and lots of things to do, Clearwater is probably going to be your happy place. If you want quiet solitude, maybe stick with Canaveral or Paradise Beach. Lots of fun stuff to do over here. You can walk Pier 60 at sunset for the nightly Sunsets at Pier 60 Festival, street performers, vendors, big sunset photo energy. You can visit the Clearwater Marine Aquarium, famous for Winter the Dolphin from the Dolphin Tale movies. You can explore the shops and restaurants along Mandalay Avenue. It's really walkable with everything from pizza to rooftop bars, including Frenchie's, the place who built an entire empire of billboards all over the state, who also make a pretty decent grouper sandwich. And you can take a dolphin sightseeing cruise or one of those cheesy but fun pirate cruises if you're traveling with kids. And thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments which of these are your favorite beaches. Let me know if I forgot your favorite, or don't if you want to keep it a secret. I totally get that one too. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more. I've got lots more cool Florida content coming, from the theme parks to the state parks, beaches, hidden gems, and all the cool stuff in between. Until the next one, please stay safe out there, and I will see you around the Sunshine State.